And welcome to The Punchline. I'm your comic strip critic. I love Foxtrot. No, stop. Not Foxtrot music. I love Foxtrot, the comic strip. This is one of my favorite comics. I actually have more Foxtrot collections on my bookshelf than I do Calvin and Hobbes collections. Need to fix that. Created by Bill Amend in early April of 1988, Foxtrot focuses on the everyday antics of the Fox family. Roger and Andrea head the household and are kept unbelievably busy by their 3 children. 16-year-old wannabe athlete Peter, 14-year-old fashion and boy-obsessed Paige, and 10-year-old super geek Jason. And I do not use the term super geek lightly in this case. Seriously, this kid once wrote a computer virus that killed the internet. Be very, very afraid. These are all good characters with a lot of personality and occasionally some real depth and complexity to them. Like any family, they do love and support each other, but they also tend to pick on each other and get into fights just as much, if not more. And sometimes they really, really overdo it. So, with that in mind, let's roll back the clock and see what the Fox family was up to in 1996's Foxtrot Beyond a Doubt.
What's this? What's what? Someone put a note in my locker. It wasn't me. What's it say? Yowza. A note that says yowza? How very, very odd.
Wait a second. This isn't a funny strip. It ends on a dramatic cliffhanger. That can only mean... One of the reasons I keep coming back and rereading Foxtrot over and over and over again is that it's one of those comics that runs storylines on occasion and is not afraid to really take its time with them. One of the record setters in this regard has to be the time that Jason went to summer camp. It was a storyline that lasted for almost 3 solid months, including Sunday strips, and was so popular that one of the comic collections actually got named after it. Back to the strip in question. I've always liked Foxtrot's artwork. It's clean, visually distinctive, and although this collection has its daily strips colored in black and white, very colorful. The characters all have their own unique looks and styles that stand out. Take these 2 characters for instance. Paige has reddish blonde hair and Nicole is a brunette, and they have different hairstyles to tell them apart even further.
I can't believe someone really left me this note. Let me see. Dear Paige, I think you are totally cute. Love, your secret admirer. Things like this never happened to me. Apparently that's changed. This is my locker, right? And your name is Paige.
Paige isn't kidding. In the 24 years that Foxtrot's been running, she's never had a steady boyfriend. The occasional date to a dance in the early years? Yes. The unwanted affections of Geek Supreme Morton Goldthwait? Yes. But nobody has ever had any interest in her like this. It's a nice reference to her history in the comic, and I'm glad to see that it stays consistent with her character.
I've got a secret admirer. You've got to watch where you're walking. Ouch. Got a secret admirer.
Nothing like a little comedic slapstick to keep things funny. Oh, I hate it when I'm proven wrong like this.
Look, Nicole, he wrote me another note. No way, what's it say? Dear Paige, I think you are the hottest girl in the entire school. Love, your secret admirer. Obviously, I didn't know anything about this guy, but I can tell he is very perceptive. Nonsense, he's obviously somehow overlooked me.
I like how Nicole isn't really jealous of Paige at all in this scenario, especially since Nicole's about as successful with the boys as Paige is. Her last line is really smart and clever, and the smug expressions on both their faces is just the perfect icing on the cake.
Mom, did you ever get notes from a secret admirer when you were in school?
Not in school, but the year after college I did. I was living in an apartment and someone kept slipping anonymous love letters under my door.
Did you ever meet him? What was he like?
Well, he turned out to be a real nerd. Not at all what I expected.
Oh.
But I married him anyway.
I heard that. Aw, that's sweet. In a bit of a backhanded kind of way. It seems like this one that really make the Fox family seem relatable though. Characters interacting with this realistic kind of dialogue and having all these different layers to it just feels, I don't know, authentic. It really feels like this is a strip that could have been captured from a moment in real life.
The secret admirer of mine must really, really like me. His first note said I was totally cute. His next one said I was totally hot, and today's note said I'm totally perfect. I wonder what his next note will say.
How about totally goddess-like? I can't believe my stupid sister is falling for these. Oh, this is gonna suck.
It's 3:45. My secret admirer's note said he'd meet me here at 2:30. I'll give him another hour, and that's it.
Why, hello, Paige.
Peter, go away. I'm expecting someone.
A secret admirer, perchance?
How did you...
It was a practical joke, Paige. Steve and I wrote all those notes and you fell for them hook, line, and sinker. You've been waiting out here in the rain for 2 hours waiting for no one. Well, if you're not going to laugh, I will.
Somehow I imagined hell would be warmer than this.
Paige, come on. It was a joke. A gag. It was funny. Honestly, some people just have no sense of humor.
You're telling me.
Peter, man, just... wow. This has got to be the biggest dick move that anybody has ever pulled off in Foxtrot history. And that includes the time when Peter's girlfriend snuck him a hollow chocolate rabbit that was filled with Tabasco sauce. That at least had the excuse of it being an April Fool's Day prank. Again, these strips provide setup, not punchlines. I mean, there is some humor here, but it's kinda dark and mean-spirited, if that's your thing. On the plus side, the artwork is still really good. Take a look at Paige's facial expression in that last panel. The way her ponytail gets flattened against the tree, or the way her hair and clothes start to get flattened and distorted in the rain. By contrast, look at what happens when Garfield gets wet. Absolutely nothing. Nice work remembering how rain works, Bill Amend.
Paige, sweetie, I know you're hurting. I know you'd probably like nothing better right now than to punch your brother Peter's lights out. But if you could just put aside that anger for a second.
Paige, I'm really, really sorry.
Peter, is that catcher's mask really necessary?
I can't hear you, Peter. Step a little closer.
Dude, Peter, you need more than a catcher's mask. I'd recommend full riot gear or juggernaut armor. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. You don't deserve anything. Look at Paige's eyes. That girl is about ready to commit murder. She's had practice. Now it's time for the real event. The more I read this, the more I wonder just how on earth Peter ever even got a girlfriend. Never mind the fact that they've been going out since almost 1989. Paige, geez, I said I was sorry.
Peter, what you did to me today was as mean as anything you've ever done. This past week, when I read those notes for the first time in my life, I felt really attractive and special. I felt like someone out there really cared about me, and today was the day I was going to meet him. Do you have any idea how happy and nervous and excited I was? Then you pop out and laugh. Ha ha ha, sucker. It was all just a joke. Well, it wasn't a joke to me, and it certainly wasn't what I would call funny.
But how was I supposed to know that?
Peter, you are sorry.
Bravo to Paige, though, for pointing out just really how heartless her brother has been in this scenario. Truth be told, I always kind of felt sorry for her whenever I read Foxtrot. Peter has a girlfriend and at least makes it onto a sports team about 80% of the time, and Jason leads a happy life in the land of A triple pluses and zany antics with his friend Marcus. But Paige? She takes part in pretty much no school activities, has no boyfriend, and does not see Nicole nearly as often as Peter and Jason see their friends. So when something like this happens, I won't lie. I kind of want to see Peter with at least a little cartoon wound on his face or something. Peter, I like you, but this really is sorry, man.
Paige is pretty mad at you, huh?
Yeah. I pulled a pretty thoughtless prank on her at school. I didn't realize she would take it so hard. She says there's nothing I can do to make up for what I did.
Since when did you bake cookies?
She did say there are ways I can begin to make up. And so our storyline ends with Peter working to earn his forgiveness. You know, now that I think about it, Peter's never really baked all that much in this strip. How are his cookies going to turn out? Despite how cruel Peter has been for these past 2 weeks, this is actually a pretty good storyline. It opens up with an intriguing premise on day 1 and keeps the suspense and drama going throughout both weeks. And it ends with a pretty definite conclusion laid out before us. Even better, you can divide each week into its own separate mini storyline, with week 1 focusing on the identity of the secret admirer and ending with his reveal, kind of the commercial break of the comic strip world. And week 2 focusing on the relationship between Peter and Paige. Bill Amend did a great job with this storyline, and I applaud him for showing that comics don't have to be used for cheap or stupid laughs, something that most comics fail at anyways. I do kind of wonder though, would a girl in real life react the same way that Paige did in Foxtrot if this sort of thing happened to her? Well, for the sake of experimentation, I've been leaving love letters anonymously to my sister all week. Let's see what happens when I tell her the news. Hey, Laura? You know all those love letters you've been getting this week from a secret admirer? Turns out that was just me. I was just messing with you. Is that the sound of a gun? Alright, myth confirmed. I'm your comic strip critic. I read the funny pages and hope that's something they... Oh, jeez! Where did you get a switchblade? Oh, my arm!
I'm just getting started, you insensitive jerk.